conquered. Didn't he do it? Didn't he do it? Come on, Rattlers. Come on, Rattlers. I will see you on the coming of the home, where all the Rattlers shall gather together on the highest of the 7 hills. Will you be there? Whoa, will you be there? Have you got your ticket? Is your name on the road? Homecoming. The Rattlers shall strike and strike and strike again. May God be with you, because sometimes I won't. Amen.
There we go. Ha! I fixed it. HBCU Digital. This is home to her store, the Black Techies. Thank you. This Friday. Look, appreciate it. Look, we trying to fix this. But as I was stating before, I was so rudely stupid. I was interrupted. That was my fault. But it was homecoming, man. Great time to be had, and woof, it was a long weekend. Like if y'all didn't hear it, I purposely stayed at home, did a little extra time with the family, little extra time with the friends, made some barbecue. I don't know how the wings went. Y'all let me know. Like family, y'all don't drop in the chat. So like, let me know how the wings went. I tried to air fry them, and I also tried to like grill them. I tried to show out a little bit. I don't know how that went. So, but it was homecoming on the highest 7 hills, and one of the things that I appreciated that Willie Simmons did was that he pointed out, hey, everybody's homecoming didn't go out like ours did. This is a blowout victory. But it was really like the culmination of a week of just crazy events and activities in which, especially FAMU, came out the better for it. I mean, you started to kind of look and consider everything that happened. It was really just everything that homecoming was supposed to be. This homecoming was. It was just electric, from the step shows, the atmosphere. It was just who's who of events and the craziest type of things that happened. But one of the things that I think may have got lost upon us, it was really a celebration. It was the experience, but it's the experience of a championship product. Like, we really got to see that. We got to see where FAMU put on display. Oh, the ribs are fire? Okay. I knew the ribs were hot. I ain't gonna lie. I knew the ribs was on point. Appreciate it, cuz. But I didn't know about the wings. I'm gonna practice on the wings some more. Look, I told you that's my hobby. That's how I get away. But like, real talk, we celebrated championships this week, and you won them. Like, the week started with the cross country team. Got to say the right one. The cross country team started the week off by winning a championship at home, and it just kind of goes back to the idea and the concept of why does the city of Tallahassee put so much into FAMU? And forgive the hands, normally you can't see that, but that's just, we're home away from home. But it was, why does Tallahassee invest so much into FAMU? And you see where FAMU hosts the SWAC championships, and they win and leave as the SWAC champions. So that's one of the nice starts to the week, along with everything else that went in the homecoming. You started off really hot by winning a championship. Then you got the golf team coming up. They're going to have a little tournament, HBCU Invitational coming up this week. But you also had the volleyball team. Volleyball team finished the week strong. Volleyball team, 3-0 against both Alcorn and Arkansas Pine Bluff. But again, the big to-do has to be the football game. I mean, it's the most complete game we've seen from FAMU since the season. Like, honestly, I don't think we've had a game where it's more complete. And honestly, it wasn't a complete 4 quarters of great football because, you had the special teams that had some issues, but at the same point, it was still something where you left and you came away impressed. You weren't overly upset and disappointed because the team gave you less than you were supposed to get. No, in the words of Xavier Smith, they got everything they deserved, and we won the game. And that was kind of one of the things we kind of tongue in cheek joked about post game, myself and Gerald, because we mentioned that a lot. But you kind of go on down the line. I mean, was Musa amazing? Nah. We didn't get amazing Musa. We got good Musa though. Like, yes, Musa throws a pick, but Musa also has 2 touchdowns. So 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Okay, I can live with that for that game. But what we also saw was FAMU really came out hot. I mean, FAMU comes out, jumps up there early with those early 14 points, steps off the gas a little bit, but then we turn it back up. And that was one of the things that was really nice to see in this game, to see that one, this is the second best running game we've had. But this is the first time I felt like 4 quarters, I knew we were going to have good running. I felt like in Texas Southern, we should have had great running, but we didn't. Whereas in this game, I feel like from the word go, the running game was going to be there. And we finally figured out kind of who running back 1 is, which is Terrell Jennings. But we also kind of figured out who running backs 2 and 3 are. I think we might be surprised who running back 3 is, because I think he felt that pressure. He felt that heat. Like, I'm just going to say right now, I think Yant kind of realized, like, oh crap, I got to step my game up, because it ain't like, I'm just gonna say it. And excuse me for touching the mic there. I was like trying to see, making sure, but if it ain't, it ain't. If it is, it is. Y'all know it's home away from home, and I don't even have the earphones in. Like, y'all straight, no chaser. Like, we're gonna do this right though. But we also saw in the receiving room, you didn't have as many drops. I mean, you have one that was kind of egregious, where I believe that was Riley in the corner of the end zone, north corner of the end zone, northeast to be more specific, where the ball kind of is over the shoulder. Musa drops it into a bucket and he doesn't catch it. So you could definitely, mention that was something that happened there. As far as the offensive line, I thought O-line was solid. Like, FAMU's O-line has been continuously showing that they're better than the sum of their parts. And not saying that the offensive line is not good. I'm saying that the offensive line is injured. And so considering that you have injuries and whatnot like that, to have that strong showing to where Musa gets sacked like once or twice, wasn't a bad game. I mean, Musa does tend to fumble when he gets sacked, so you got to watch out for that. But at the same point, it was still a game where, like I said, we didn't get great Musa. We got okay Musa. Like, we got Musa that was going to do just enough to, he didn't lose you the game. Now, did the receivers catch all the balls? No. But he did enough. Now, defensively, look, FAMU's defense was everything you wanted and some. And they have been all season long. FAMU's defense was amazing. Again, Isaiah Major has another game where it's 10-plus tackles. But we finally got the secondary to kind of, I don't want to say pull their weight. Pull their weight is not fair. We finally got the secondary to deliver on what was promised. Like, you have a secondary that literally, with the speed we have, can do some real damage. That really hasn't. And we saw in this game where, I mean, the secondary did amazing things. I'm going to start there, because the secondary provided you your homecoming moments. Like, and they provide you, to me, the most warming moment of the night is definitely the Tevin Griffey interception. That there can be no bigger warming moment than that one, because Griffey doesn't normally play in the secondary. He's a special team star, and he's in there kind of in mop-up time, but he gets an interception, he scores a touchdown, and he runs into the end zone where his dad is. Oh, and by the way, his dad is Ken Griffey Jr., the Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, and just so happens to be in that end zone filming and catching pictures with his camera. Like, are you serious? Like, that's part of what makes homecoming. It's those extra stories. It's the person you linked up with you haven't seen in a long time. And I had a few. I had my good buddy, Dr. Clark Meredith. I saw her. I saw one of our former students, Terrell. It was great seeing you. Sorry, I was kind of running past people because I had to go to the press box. I was actually working the game, so I was doing statistics for this game. So I didn't really get to hang out and do all that before, but I saw people in and around in the process. But that's the kind of moments you get from homecoming, and those are the things that you end up talking about. Again, FAMU's linebacker room, amazing, best in the conference. FAMU's defensive line wasn't having it for a while, but let's be honest. Let's not act like even in this blowout it was perfect. Oh, look, tomorrow. Yes, FAMU's, we were getting the ball run on us for a while. Like, absolutely, that the run game was working. Like, they were doing their thing, and yeah, I definitely, I was looking at the run game like a lot of y'all were, but the moment of the game for me was definitely that, just because. And I'm not going to be like, oh, I know Griffey personally. No, I really don't. But I am much like y'all. I grew up a fan of Ken Griffey Jr. I came up and was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, oh, Tevin's on the team. All right, we got one of the Griffey kids on the team. So then he's an Orlando kid, you know. So you got a little bit of that connection there. But then to kind of get all that in the moment, I think that's what some of the stuff that when you're doing the replay video, if you got video of Ken Griffey Jr., that you get that. You get some of the, you know, you do like a snapping picture of him taking pictures with his son, and how he's got a picture on his camera taking a picture of his son. And if you can go back and find an old picture of Tevin when he was in high school or when he was at some of his dad's events, I think that's just kind of crazy to see the full circle action of that. Like, that to me was one of some of the really the cool aspects of it. But you did have some issues. I mean, special teams, you know, we got a block field goal on there. A block kick. You know, you can't be having that. You get a kick return that goes way too far. But it seemed to get fixed. And that was a question I asked Coach Simmons, like, hey, Coach, it looks like, you know, early in the game, special teams kind of got away from us. But, you know, it looks like you kind of wasn't having that. What did you do to fix that? And he was, you know, very honest about it. You know, one place we were in the wrong spot on the kickoff, on the not kickoff, on the field goal, the extra point. But then on the kickoff, we just, you know, kind of broke contain there. So, and if you really want the exact details, go check the post-game interview. Definitely, it was great times with Gerald, St. Clair, and everyone that was there. But it was just really, really a great experience for homecoming, because it really was the experience as a fan. Like, you came away, you came in there, and as you're a fan, you got everything you needed. You got the big win. You got the halftime lead so you can go to the club early. You got really everything that you wanted as far as from the game aspect. You got to see the groups with the fraternities here. You got to see the merch and just everything that made FAMU's homecoming what it could be was there. It was just, to me, it was just a week of success. And it culminated with this game and what it was and the outcome. And it was really fun watching kind of all of it play out. But the other side that we're starting to miss is that, FAMU is like starting to control the narrative about some of the players and the products. Like, that's one of the things I'm noticing just within the next couple of days. And let me go on and drop this in there. You know, just kind of give y'all an example how FAMU's kind of control the narrative, especially our athletes. Like, not so much as just some of the other things you don't think about, but our athletes are really starting to do some of the things that some people may not really notice. And I hate to do it like this, but it didn't transfer over. I had it ready too. But so one of the things that we have seen is that our players are getting NILs. Like, that's something we're not really talking about. And a lot of times we oftentimes say, like, HBCU players don't get NILs. And that's not true. It's a fallacy. Like, HBCU players are getting NILs. We're seeing right here where, look, Moose's got an NIL with Hotel Indigo. Like, you're able to see, like, hey, come to FAMU. You can do anything here. And we hear that. But at the same point, how often do we believe that? Like, go back and watch. If you didn't see on YouTube, they just dropped it a couple of days ago, where Marquise Bell talks about his journey to the NFL. He talks about how important FAMU was for him and how, okay, yeah, they kind of overlook us, gave me a chip on my shoulder. But you kind of got some of those crazy moments. Like, homecoming, FAMU's homecoming was an experience. And it was partially an experience because it was filled with so much just, to me, weird and crazy things. Like, how often are you going to get that Griffey moment? But then let's flip that. Let's go to another moment where we're talking about Jalen Glaze, a local kid from Tallahassee area, goes to Lincoln High School, best high school in the city, unbiased. Gets an interception like a few weeks after he gets his NIL deal. And of course, the kid's last name is Glaze and his NIL is with Krispy Kreme. Like, how often do you get that at homecoming? Like, it's just one of those things where this year's homecoming, the game was a blowout. Like, and that's the reason I'm not just overly nerding out on the X's and O's of the game and actually just talking about more of the experience. Because honestly, this year's homecoming, that's what it was billed as, and that's what it was. It was the experience. It was a chance for you to come on campus and experience what FAMU could be. It was also a chance for a lot of recruits to get here. FAMU had about 100 some recruits on campus again. Like, started to kind of notice, like, and a sellout crowd too. Like that's something you can't discount that kind of vibe. When you come in, everything going on outside, beautiful women everywhere, dudes, like whatever you into, it was there. The food was immaculate. Like that kind of atmosphere. You think that doesn't swing a recruit when you go to FAMU and it's 2 days before Halloween, it's 80 degrees, women looking beautiful, food looking right. Come on, the stadium is packed. The band could have played a few more songs, but that's not really their fault. Like, you don't think a recruit pays attention to that? Kids got NIL deals up here. Like, all of a sudden, like, look, Rattlers, you might have struck something. Like, FAMU's got something going on here that you're gonna wanna not just participate in. And we saw the contributions of certain groups. And I'm going to point at Rattler Boosters. Like, I'm pointing straight at you, Rattler Boosters. Look, Rattler Boosters showing out in the past couple weeks. Like, they bought the track team a tent. And then a few days later, after the track team gets the tent, what does the track team do? Win a SWAC championship. Okay. All right, I'll do you another one. I got you. You over here saying, skeptics. That's cool. They sit up here, and after they do that, they go buy muscle milk for the football team, a couple $1,000s worth. Okay, but then not only does the football team reward you by winning back-to-back games, but they win the Eastern Division Championship. And so in the homecoming experience, what FAMU just did, in this weekend alone, FAMU brought home 2 championships. Granted, the Eastern Championship division-wise, I'm not going crazy over it because honestly, Willie's SWAC, but I'm not. I'm just here. I'm just here for a good time. I hadn't been there for a long time. Not SWAC yet. Even though, there's several championships with Florida A&M University on them that do say SWAC. But I think the other side of this is we always hear lock in. I hate that phrase. I'm not going to lie. I hate when teams and coaches saying we got to lock in. But you do have to maintain that focus. And one of the questions that I've noticed, and one of the questions I asked Coach Simmons, because we're really good about asking about penalties when we get 100 yards in penalties. We're really good about that. When FAMU's got 100 yards in penalties, we're the most undisciplined team on the field. This is unacceptable. Coaches got to get reins on this. When you got less than 70 yards in penalties, don't nobody ask no questions. So I asked a question last week. We had 58 penalties. I said, Coach, when the penalties are high, we ride you. But the penalties are low. What'd you do to get the change? Like, hey, we did, they don't like the consequences. Okay, cool. Came back. I asked a follow-up question this week because the penalty yardage went down. We had 50-some. We had 40 this game. And in that 40 yards of penalties, nobody's fighting. Like, look, Coach, what you did to get the discipline players ain't like them up downs. So all of a sudden, it looks like FAMU's doing what they're supposed to do at the right time. One, they're figuring out what the heck they're supposed to do. Like, that's just defensively, they've had it. But offensively, I think we're getting there. Second thing that I think FAMU is doing, they're getting the ring on these penalties. Penalties have been one of the biggest bugaboos of this team and one of the most frustrating points. And they really just have been times when FAMU just looked flat out undisciplined. But in this case and in this scenario, FAMU actually looked disciplined, even in times where you could see, like, the game was going to get chippy for a minute. And then some of the FAMU players like, nah. Those up downs are resonating, Coach. Like, whatever you're doing, look, keep doing it because you've literally seen a drastic drop-off in penalty yards in a 2-week period where I think, 2 to 3 weeks, because we did have a bye week. I think in the Southern game, we hit 100 and some yards and penalties, close to 120. Don't quote me on that because I ain't said stuff. That's a rap song reference. Believe it's Jules Santana. It is. But that being stated, like, you've literally cut your penalties by a third in like a 3 to 4 game time span. That's something you can't just sit up there and talk greasy about our football coach and not say, like, as undisciplined as FAMU is, that's not a factor in us winning games. It's a huge factor, considering we did have enough turnovers to make you upset. And if you were mad with Musa in the tournaments and turnovers, I'm fine with you. And look, Tamara said it best. We looked more disciplined. Like, this is the most disciplined FAMU team I've seen that Willie Simmons had. Okay, let me rephrase that. This is the most disciplined I have seen a Willie Simmons team look in a bit. We normally see this level of discipline around the Florida Classic, maybe end of the game. I think last year we did get a little chippy with Cookman, but it's Cookman. Like, you just want to fight them because they are. I mean, in sports, otherwise them's our cousins, But you got to give this team some credit. The discipline, it's reaching home, and it's reaching home at the right time. And what we just saw against Prairie View, granted, Prairie View's, they're not the best team in the SWAC, but they're in the runnings to win that side of the division still. What can be if FAMU's offense can score at this clip? I mean, we just saw what arguably the two best HBCU teams in HBCU whatever did, between North Carolina Central, what they did to South Carolina State, which was just dismantle that team. And then we just saw what FAMU did to Prairie View, where you played a B+ game. I can't even give you an A. And you still walked out of that win comfortably. Like, you're on the sideline dancing. Like, they're doing the little ski-wee thing, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Look, I'm a dude. I'm not going to be singing that song. I'm sorry. I don't know if she's AKA, but they need to charge us some taxes or something like that shit right there. I'm just saying. I'll get either a cease and desist letter or, hey, you're going to have to pay us some dues or something. Like, throw a pinky up at that lady or something, because she owe y'all some money. But that's just me and my 2 cents. But, nah, for real, though. Like, they were over there dancing on the sideline, people having fun. Like, the fun was back. Like, and you got to see that, like, hey, with a win this convincing, you guys got to enjoy yourselves a little bit. Like, Friday night, they were out there on Perry Street, and going back to the level of discipline. I know I've been harping on discipline, but I'll say this. It was Friday. I was over there on Perry Street myself, lurking and creeping and looking for some food, man. And I brought Mini-Me with me, so I was in full dad mode. So it was like, let's find something for this kid to eat, because she started getting my nerves. She wanted a hot dog. I'm like, why do you come over here for hot dogs? Not when they're selling fried fish and conch over there, but I digress. I'll finally get this kid fed. But in the process, I'm seeing all these athletes. I'm seeing K-Dot. I see Moore. I see Major. I see, I saw Willie out there. I saw some of the coaches, and you're starting to see where, okay, they had a chance to enjoy some of the homecoming atmosphere. But at the same point, you also saw that they were able to be controlled. They looked like they were still on the business trip. They weren't out there. Yeah, some of them changed their outfits, but they weren't looking just like rough. They still look somewhat well kept together, as much as you're going to get from, this modern generation, what they wear, and every generation will consider that. But they got to enjoy, and they got to have fun, and they maintained themselves. Nobody was fighting. Like, it was that other piece of discipline where it's the fun part. So it was a great experience. FAMU wins homecoming, big game. And honestly, if you want X's and O's, Prairie View's quarterback's not very good. They don't know what the hell they're doing with their run game. Their receivers are solid because, man, one Bowler got mossed. But at the same point, besides that, FAMU dominates them. Like, we get some turnovers. What FAMU's defense gave up some runs, but honestly, X's and O's wise, there's not a lot to really give you, because it was such a dominant victory. And it was a victory where FAMU, Rattler Nation needed it. This is going to probably be the easiest week that they get coming from the alumni and the fan base, because everyone's happy. Everyone's happy with the win. Everyone's happy with the way you won. I mean, it was great, and it was what we needed, and it was the experience that we had. So, but I do look forward to talking to y'all again, man. We're gonna be in the friendly confines Thursday, 8 o'clock of the house. I'm heading back tomorrow, probably either early in the morning or after the Willie Simmons. I'm gonna try to catch the press conference to talk a little bit more, see what kind of more stuff he might give us. But it's what it was, baby. It was the experience, and y'all look beautiful out there. Look, if nobody else gonna tell you, keep gonna tell you, y'all outfits was outfitting. There was a couple of y'all's aunties that was trying to holler, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, wasn't too many. A few of y'all's aunties tried to shoot your shot. It's all right. It's all right. I like to play on my home court, so. But it was definitely a beautiful event. Y'all look beautiful out there. Y'all for the most part, y'all acted like y'all was supposed to be there. But the sidelines, like, let me finish by talking about these sidelines. Look, FAMU sidelines, okay, Humphreys area Rattlers. I'm gonna just say it like this. Y'all had a little competition with this homecoming because Trick Daddy was supposed to be there. You didn't hear that from me, but a birdie told me that, and they kind of had to shoot that down. Trick Daddy the mayor was supposed to be there. But then you had Edgy James there, you had Griffey there, you had a lot of people who were there. Like, you had Tiff was there from ESPN, which I got to meet her. I got a hug. That was my moment of the day. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm a huge fan of hers. Got to see Jay Skywalker. He kept kind of eyeballing me. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, I'm not as tall as you, dude. I'm not like, I ain't one of them rattlers that's mad at you because you be talking greasy about us. But because y'all know y'all be riding that man like, man, he never got nothing to say nice about FAMU, which, sometimes he do, sometimes he don't. But it was really cool. Like, it was a great experience, a lot of fun, and we did it right. And this is where FAMU football needs to make sure that you handle business, because another game at home is awaiting us. You have Lincoln, but you also got a chance to where if you get this Alabama A&M game, you might lock up this home field advantage. Another game in Bragg, and I'm not just going to hit y'all with the we don't lose in Bragg thing. I don't do that, but we haven't lost in Bragg in a mighty long time. But all of a sudden, you get that extra game in Bragg, and look, I already talked to some alumni who were like, oh yeah, we're going to get our tickets for that. Look, alumni is kind of excited about this. Like, if you are here, look, if you here for it, I'm here for it too. Like, FAMU alumni, like, quietly, some of y'all already bought y'all tickets to go to Atlanta. Like, let's be honest. Look, I ain't got it in my pocket, but you keep it a buck. You already bought your tickets for the Celebration Bowl. Some of y'all ain't gonna sit up here and be like, oh, nah, just in case. No. You got your hotel, you got your tickets, you got your plans for where you gonna go. Look, you already trying to plan out how you gonna get to Magic City, and if you can go there, are you going with your homeboys? Or are you gonna go with your girl? Like, you trying to figure out what you're gonna do. Like, y'all folks ain't slick and y'all ain't sneaky. Like, cause some of y'all is my friends too. And I already had one of my friends like, so bro, where we going? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to my cousin's house. So I don't know what you're gonna do. I'm trying to go where it's safe. I like sleeping with both eyes closed or waking up. Look, one eye open with a little short woman. Boy, I tell you, short women, they like to fight. I ain't afraid, but I don't like to wake up with a knife in my side because I've been out there in the streets. So, but look, let's be real. Some of y'all already started planning and plotting. Like, y'all already know what's up. Like, and let's be real about this. It's fair for us to plot and plan. You look on the west side of the SWAC and it looks like who shot John and why. You're looking at the east and it's like, you know what? I ain't gonna throw no gang signs up, but y'all look, who run the east, FAMU? Like, it's our side. We run this. We got look. We are the Eastern Division champions. Like, go enjoy it, Rattlers. Like, go talk your trash. Like, as much trash as folks talk for 2 years. What? Look, you talk your trash, but look for the potential of hosting a SWAC playoff game or SWAC championship game at Bragg. Man, look, Tallahassee is about to look. The city of Tallahassee did good on banking on FAM, because I'm just going to, and we're going to finish up because I'm reeling, but I'm so proud of what this program's done. But in the last ends of the year, you're getting FAMU's homecoming, which somebody needs to report how many millions of dollars we brought in. You're also going to get the state championships, which is going to be like, 9 games? at Bragg, like added funding because you were only getting half of that. Now you get all of that. Then you just got the SWAC championship for cross country. Like FAMU Rattlers, look, y'all done did a lot for the city, and the city is singing your praises. So, but good times we had. Like I said, Thursday, 8 o'clock, we'll be back here. We're gonna be at the friendly confines. We're leaving the morning, and we're gonna be looking at some things, man. Hopefully, look, I saw. Look, hopefully we can kind of get behind the go behind and go in the crates and check out some of this stuff. I saw what Brother Swope put up there. He's not completely wrong. Like, look, I saw what he put up there. If I ask you about my books one more time, and Larry with the gun, we're gonna see if we can find some of that stuff. But it's gonna be interesting, y'all. So for HBCU Digital Network, this is home. Check out Herb Stewart, the Black Techies. Congratulations to Herb. And look, I gotta give a big thank you to Herb. Look, your Alabama State Hornets pulled it out for a brother. When I needed you, you was there for me. Look, that's a nice reference right there. What's that? Boys and Men? Yeah. Song for Mama. So yeah, but look, we're gonna see some things. I got something coming across my phone by this APR. Oh Lord, I didn't break that news though, so somebody sent it to me. Anyways, so HBCU Digital Network, this is home of Herb Stewart, the Black Techies. This is a Fangs Up podcast, and as always, y'all, it's always gonna be. Let me get my banner right, because look, y'all, look, when a brother's away from home, you don't have it the way you normally got it. Let's fix it. There we go. And it's always gonna be Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey, how